when you're including mental health, psychology, life coaching, and your boobs is out,
Oh,
I don't care how attractive a person is, if they're a true professional, they're actually going to tamp that down.
there's a lot of people in the space that give dating advice and talk about dating. Recently there was one that exposed Sadia Khan. Thoughts on her? Because obviously speaking, with someone in the space, if you're in the space that we're in, women don't understand your struggle. They may pretend to, or kind of, pretend to say, oh, okay, I understand, I feel you, but they really don't.
Yeah.
So she was exposed for having or being a mistress to somebody versus a girlfriend or wife. What's your take on her?
Oh, gosh.
Where should we begin, huh?
Well,
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'll start with the basics in terms of professionally speaking, because the personal stuff it's a thing of like, it's a lot of he said, she said. People don't really know for sure what did or didn't happen with her personally.
Because she says she was a certified psychologist, which
She's not a psychologist. She's not, no. And even over there, meaning in what is she, in the UAE or wherever?
I think Dubai
or wherever she is. No,
UK.
she's not. No, she's not. She's not. Just flat out, she is not. All right. So there obviously different countries do have different standards, as is the case for different states. But certain things are non-negotiables. You not having a master's, you not having a doctorate, you obviously not having a license to be able to, like, I believe in certain states, even here in the States, you can effectively call yourself a psychologist, but we all know what we mean when we say somebody's a psychiatrist or a psychologist. We really mean somebody who has their doctorate in said field and has been practicing. So unfortunately, she has had a pattern of marketing herself as that. And then when you're also doing exorbitant high fees,
$6,000 is crazy.
it's debatable because she's arguing one thing and social media and people are saying something different. What I know is this. One of the ways in which you can kind of screen out a grifter is you have to compare people who are experts at the field and who have been experts in being at what they do for lengthy periods of time, typically a decade or more. What do they charge? And then you got to compare a social media influencer who doesn't have the credentials and are marketing themselves as that, and what do they charge? If they're charging anywhere close to or way more than that, start assuming it's a scam. Number two, one of the ways in which you can always tell whether or not somebody is genuinely coming from a place of objectivity and actually trying to actually help people is their target, when they talk to their target audience, do they ever tell their target audience things that they don't want to hear? So if you ever want to know about the male or female panderers, let's say if they're talking to women, if they never tell women harsh or things, bad things, or things that they know women need to improve on or change about themselves, Derek Jackson, then you know, right? Then you know this person isn't coming from any legitimate background to actually help these people.
Yeah.
Because just because it's a woman sitting in front of me in a therapy session or a man sitting in front of me in a therapy session doesn't mean I'm just going to tell him everything he wants to hear. A lot of it is, bro, you need to blame yourself. It's on you. When I'm looking at her and saying, so you keep saying he's this horrible guy, but you gave him 3 kids and he never married you. And after the first kid, when he wasn't helping you, you decided you was going to give him 2 more because you thought it was going to change. Like, that ability to be able to tell any population that you're working with or engaging with the truth of what it is, you'll always know the panderers because they'll typically pick a side. They'll do one of 2 things. They'll either pick a stand, they'll either side with men all the time, side with women all the time, or they will cater it to the person or audience that's in front of them and never tell them what they need to hear. So effectively, so I won't mention some of the other people, but a lot of these, I'll take single female influencers. They really get off on trying to humble men on their platforms, especially rich and famous men.
Yeah.
But the reality is like they don't do that with women. So now when you get the gist of like, well, wait a minute, what type of therapist, psychologist, or doctor or whatever would never ever hold women accountable and always takes very successful men and try to make them look horrible, while the lifestyle they have, if everybody else adopted it, society would actually be worse. So those are some of the key things that I would say from an objective standpoint we can kind of step back from. And then number 3, a lot of these influencers, especially the ladies, the reason why they're so successful is because they're marketing their sexuality.
Yeah.
Now keep this. When you're including mental health, psychology, life coaching, and your boobs is out.
Oh, tell them.
When you're marketing your sexuality in such a way where I don't care how attractive a person is, if they're a true professional, they're actually going to tamp that down because they want you to focus on the message and the top. Yeah, like
I ain't never seen her titties, bro. Respectfully.
Well, I don't think any of us have, right?
Well, I mean, like out there like that. You know what I mean?
I get what you said.
But she's always dressed modestly.
Yeah.
And because again, she's on camera.
Yes.
Talking points, not her sexuality.
Yeah.
To your point.
So think of it this way: if you're supposed to be,
think about this.
Yeah, if you're supposed to be the person who's supposed to be pointing me in the direction of truth, objectivity, challenging me on things I need to learn and grow in, and you're dressed in such a way to where that's so extremely distracting, I know who you're targeting. Yep. I know who you're actually trying to get. So now when you have hundreds or thousands of men lining up to pay this woman for life advice, first of all, I don't know if there's meetups involved with this life advice, but I will say this. Nothing that's being said with many of these ladies is deep. It's not profound. Yeah. It's not. And in fact, it's something that most people who do enough looking at social media and looking up great inspirational quotes can basically say the same thing.
Copy and paste.
There's the way in which you'll know that they can expose. You'll always know that they won't expose themselves in this way. There's a cheat code of how you'll always know. They'll never share the stage. They'll never be around, and they'll never be on platforms with people who actually do the work. They'll always be and put themselves in positions with people who don't know their BS, who don't know they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You take Sadia Khan and you put her on stage with Dr. Jordan Peterson, you're going to learn very quickly, oh, one of these people is an actual psychologist. So all these people, not all, but a lot of these people has marketed themselves, put them in the room, put them on stage with, put them in a debate, and you're going to see very clearly that there's levels to this. And that's actually the truth. Damn. So to me, I'm not making it personal about her. I think she's more of a symbolic representation of effectively what's happened, not only to social media, but the mental health field. People are seeing this as a great opportunity. You can make a lot of money. But the issue is, a lot of this advice and stuff is basically stuff your aunties could tell you.
Yeah.
It's not meaningful. It's not going to go anywhere. You're effectively just taking people's money off false premises of what you're marketing yourself as. And then anybody today can go and get a life coaching certification. So for me, the life coaching certification is effectively, in terms of helping people, the equivalent of a high school diploma.
Oh, shit.
Anybody can effectively get that. Just to be honest with you. Doesn't mean that there's not effective life coaches. Doesn't mean that there's some good, really good or even great ones. What I am saying is if that's it, if that's their distinguishing factor between them and the public, you should already kind of start to be kind of slowing down on your reliance on being super focused on all their advice and how much you're going to allow them to influence you.
Because the barrier to entry is very low.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get a life coaching certification. That's nothing.
And it's funny. The algorithm pushed her a lot too, which is very telling.
Well, what did the thumbnails have on it? Her face.
Her face.
And her other stuff features. So like I said, she obviously is a beautiful woman, and she knew what she was selling. And when you charge such exorbitant rates while not talking about anything in depth, you're not talking about almost anything on the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. You're not talking about the nuances of male and female populations as it relates to anxiety and depression and how it manifests differently in different populations. I would acknowledge this, that she did see some distinctions between the sexes. But then they'll always expose themselves when it comes to what it is their personal standards of what they want and expect in a man. It'll always be different than what they're saying everybody else has to settle for. It starts to stick out clear as day. Like, why would I tell y'all something that's not good enough for me?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I wasn't married, I'd be doing the very thing that I'm suggesting. And in the last piece, now this is my personal stance. people who are actual influencers who are trying to help people in terms of life advice, marriage advice, relationship advice, the person or people who are honest and objective about their own faults, flaws, vulnerabilities, and past mistakes have a level of humility and authenticity that I think you can trust in versus someone who tries to hide all of that and tries to market themselves like they've always been this thing.
I've been preached.
Listen, man, wasn't he getting milked or something like that at one
Yeah,
point?
bro, on all fours, bro.
Hey, yo.
But no, you made some very good points about kind of differentiating between real and fake, and I think she was exposed in real time. So, but again, you know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the exposing, she'll still have clients because people are not abreast to everything that's happening, and of course, most of them are simps. So,
yeah, man. So funny enough, tomorrow one of the key, I think she used to be a psychologist, doctors that really exposed her a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna be interviewing her tomorrow.
Oh, really?
On my podcast, Dr. Burrows. Yeah.
Okay.
So, she's very intimately acquainted with and have had several conversations with Sadia and even challenged her and tried to make her send her credentials to
and she never did.
They don't exist. What she's sending Abba, what she's sending all these other people isn't legit things. And again, people, this is the weird thing. When you're doing anything that's fake or fraudulent, people who actually do it, I wish I had brought it. Funny enough, I flew down and brought it. I should have brought it with me today in my book bag at the hotel. If I left and came back here 20 minutes from now, I have my license in my book bag. I brought it on the flight with me.
Oh, shit.
Like, you should be able to show it. You'll have the number. People can type it in, and it'll pop up clear as day. So when there's issues with the school, there's issues with the degree, there's issues with the license. This is all the effects of, and you got to realize the podcasting, social media influencing space, just like politicians, and just like any area where there's an important position in society where you can get clout, fame, notoriety, and money. It attracts the worst narcissistic, greedy types of people.
Yeah.
And if any person can know how to monetize themselves in that space, all they got to do is find suckers.
You know what's funny? I've met many influencers in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Many. Behind the scenes, on camera, off camera. I can count my hand how many of them are actually real. Generally, they live the lifestyle they talk about. They actually are honest with their audience.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Sneeko, fake as hell. But on camera, he looks like he's a perfect, idol. But behind the scenes, fucking liar, bro. Fakes everything, not a real Muslim. But again, the more you hang around with these people, you see who they really are.